Okay, so for my second career profile, I decided to do a school counselor, and this one was particularly a middle school counselor, and it was my middle school counselor. So I got a lot of information from her as well as um, online. So when it comes to the working environment, this is like a really small town community. Um, so obviously, like the school is a lot smaller, and it was like a regular work schedule, like just as a teacher. But sometimes she would stay later into the evening just to get some things done, or just show up earlier in the morning. And yeah, and so when it came to the obviously like you're on the same schedule as teachers, so she was off for a majority of that summer, and then vacation time is all the same, and she shared that it was definitely the best job that she'd ever had, especially when it came to like the professional level and satisfaction, and that she had really great relationships at home and at work. The typical stressors were she did all of the scheduling for every student in the building, which I feel like would get really crazy. And then working as the assessment coordinator for all of the testing that they did in the school, and that was like her least favorite part of the job. And then she shared that it can also be hard, obviously, to hear like the heart-wrenching stories of the students in their private lives, and that sometimes there's little that you can really do to ease that pain. But then she also shared that those disadvantages are minor compared to all the other wonderful aspects of that job. The benefits, this particular counselor, at first she was an English teacher, so she's been in education for a really long time, and then she went back to get her master's in psychology. But so she's maxed out like the pay scale, but she gets full benefits and retirement, and there's opportunities to also advance, but she obviously wouldn't do this at the level that she is at now, just at an older age. But yeah, she's been in education for 25 years. The common job tasks, and one of the best and the most challenging things about being a counselor in a small school is that 2 days are never alike. The crisis counseling is something that always takes precedence over all of other duties, especially like when that child's in need. Everything else really comes to a stop, and just to go help that and serve them. She also coordinated comprehensive school-wide counseling program that reaches every student through advisory, I'm like reading this, through like programs in this school. So when it comes to like individual counseling, small group counseling, and then also with like partnerships in the community, and then as well like working with other students or the parents of the students. She was also responsible for registering and the assessment duties for the building. She met with parents, holding staff meetings, sessions with the parents and the teachers, and whatever, and then like just a bunch of meetings if they were needed with the parents and the teachers. The education requirements, obviously it does require an advanced degree, or at least most public systems require that, and so at least a master's. And then I just looked him up for Washington just because I was curious, because that's where I'd most likely be working. So I mean, really just a master's, and then sometimes um, there's usually an exam that you have to take, and there's like certain ones that you can take that's required by the state, and I don't know, but really just a master's, know what you're doing, experience. When it comes to salary, Mrs. Gramp, since she had maxed out that pay scale, um, she was making 65 grand a year, and that was with full benefits and retirement. But then I looked up online that the median annual wage was around 53,000 a year, and then the bottom 10 earned less than 31, almost 32,000, and the top 10% earned more than 86,000. So there's a big difference there. And then it was just interesting to see, depending on where you were working, whether it be like in education or like junior colleges, colleges, universities, and then just like community services. It really did change. But when it was kind of interesting to me, just because like public education, public schools usually get more funding, so those were the highest, which was kind of shocking to me in a way. But really, that's all I have. Thank you. Thank you for viewing.